The recession and the housing market. I put up a new blog post and I'm going to read off of it a little bit just to go over this video where I want to talk about the recession, historically, what's happened, the housing market, and just what's going on right now. Let's see here. So, topic that I keep hearing about is the recession. I'm hearing about it in the news. I'm hearing about it with clients. I'm hearing about it pretty much everywhere. And everyone wants to know the same thing, which is what's going to happen with the housing market? Are we in a recession? Just things like that, things in general about the recession and how it's going to affect housing. Some people are asking me, should I sell right now? Some people are saying, should I buy right now? Depending where their specific situation is, that's what they're asking me. Those are the questions that they want to know. And let's see here. So 2/3 of economists are forecasting a recession in 2000. I can't even talk today. 2 out of 3 economists are forecasting a recession in 2023. This is going to affect everything, not just the housing market. And we are already seeing some of those effects. We are already seeing some of that playing out right now. Inflation is super big. It's just going up. Food prices are out of control. Rent is very expensive. So housing in general is very expensive already. And recently what we've seen is a pullback in pricing. And part of that was because the Fed kept raising rates for inflation. We are in a steady decline of rates, but we're still way up compared to what it was at. I mean, we were talking about 3%, 3.5%, 6 months to a year ago. That nobody really sees coming back. But what we do see is the prices continuing to level off, and at some point they're just going to get flat. What else did I put here? So recession doesn't mean falling prices. So most people think recession, they say, okay, housing is going to fall. That's not necessarily the case. 4 out of the last 6 recessions, pricing actually went up. So housing prices went up 4 out of the last 6 recessions. So it doesn't mean recession, it's going to be a crash in housing prices. The only one that was really a bad crash was in 2008, and that went down 19.7%. So you can check out the chart in the blog post. We are already, at least in this market, the San Fernando Valley, we are already past, in some areas, a 20% drop from the height of last year. So this might be the bottom. Nobody knows. Whoever says they know is lying, because nobody knows. But if we're going to use history as, a way to judge what's coming up, we are already in a 20% correction. It already happened. And now what you're seeing is a lot of stabilization in pricing and rates slowly starting to come back down a tiny bit, but not in a big way. Let's see, what else did I put here? So recessions do, however, typically mean falling mortgage rates. Every recession, actually, let me look at this chart. Yeah, every recession from the last 6 recessions has caused a decrease in mortgage rates. So that means mortgage rates went down, which means loans got cheaper, which then pushed prices higher. So that can kind of explain why 4 out of the last 6 recessions prices went up. And part of that was because mortgage rates went down. Right now, mortgage rates are low 6s, mid 5s for FHA. That, at that price point, is definitely causing a slowdown in the buyers. And at some point, they're going to have to get to the equilibrium where there is enough buyers for the people who want to sell, and vice versa. Sellers aren't getting these crazy high prices anymore. That's done. And right now, much of the market is kind of on standby. So if you're a buyer, you want to find those sellers who need to sell, and those sellers are already ready to make a decision. And if you're a seller, you want to find the buyer who's willing to pay the highest price by, competing against other buyers. So there's strategy specific to each one of those we can help you out with that. And, even though we're going to go into a recession, or we're already in a recession, depending who you ask, the housing market will continue to produce people who want to sell and people who want to buy. And that's what we're here to do and here to help. So any questions, reach out to us.